Hello, and welcome to Husky Huddle. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always, the icon himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe,
Good morning, Stevie. How are you?
great to see you, as
It's always
always.
great to see you, my friend.
Yes. And a lot happening in the UConn world. We had a lot of talk last week about the transfers that were coming in. There were several articles. We made some mainstream news for this. Like we talked about, 64 new players,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we've been offering kids for the class of 28 and 29. So Coach Candle seems to have a plan. Seems to know what he's doing.
It's not surprising when you read about his background and his resume and how well respected he is. That's a lot of new players to bring in, 64,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
Um, but obviously, there were a lot of kids, and we don't know exactly all of them yet, who decided to bail when the other coach left for Colorado State.
yes,
And some kids may not feel comfortable in what Coach Kendall wants to do, and you know what? That's fine. In this day and age, you're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do within reason. So, to those who have left, good luck. Thanks for your service, and for those who are coming in, 57 transfers and 7 freshmen, then welcome aboard.
and the good thing that I liked is we got 21 from Power Four programs. So I like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think
and
that's outstanding.
and he really had to rebuild the quarterback room because we literally lost everyone. We lost our starter, of course.
Right. Yep. And we'll
We
talk about
lost
his East West Shrine Bowl performance.
Yes, we lost Mr. Evers, and we lost Hassan Farrar.
Yeah.
He was going to be a redshirt freshman, and he was the Virginia State Player of the Year. He had a lot of potential. It was disappointing to lose him, but I think we brought in some good guys with Merklinger, the one who came in from Tennessee. We got Caleb Osborne, and we got Bo Polston. A lot of transfers came from Toledo, but
Right.
we
Which is
got kids,
expected.
of course, but we got kids from Syracuse, Wake Forest, West Virginia, Northwestern, Iowa, Duke, Texas, Ohio State, USC, Michigan State, Ole Miss, and Kentucky. I mean, those are really good programs. So I think that he did a good job because he really had to rebuild the quarterback position
Right.
and the running back position.
Right. With Cam Edwards, Victor Rosa,
Mel
uh,
Brown,
Mel Brown, everybody
the,
who left. Now,
yeah,
now, look, Stevie, we've talked about this for 2 years now, so you know my feelings on this subject. Is that if kids are leaving a Power Four program to go somewhere else, it's because they're not playing. They were either
exactly,
second string or lower. So all these
exactly.
kids, with all these kids who they've gotten, you don't see anybody, 11 games played, 1,300 yards rushing,
No,
or
no,
12 games played, 75 catches.
that's what
So what
scares
you
me. I
what
agree.
you're doing, well, but that's the way of the world now. I mean, that's just the way college football is. So what you want is kids with potential. I mean, certainly Jacob Merklinger, the quarterback from Tennessee, has 2 years worth of experience there. So that's pretty good. That's under a good offensive coach um, that they have down at Tennessee. So he's got experience, and he just saw the opportunity to play right away at a Group of Five school. You look at Osborne. We saw him in the bowl game for
We did.
Toledo. He
Yep.
didn't have a lot of pieces with him. He didn't look out of place. The quarterback is a 3-star recruit. Won a state championship as a junior. Looks like a dual threat kid. 1,500 yards rushing, 6,500 yards passing. So I think Merklinger, you would, and of course you still got the McDonald kid coming back, who hung
Tucker.
around. Tucker McDonald, who hung around. So I think it'll be an open competition. But if I were going to grade him, I'd say Merklinger would be the clubhouse favorite to be the number one guy, unless he turns out to be Evers. Then you've got the running backs. You've got one from Northwestern, one from Syracuse, one from Central Michigan, and one for Toledo. The kid Kenji Christian looks like a guy who can both catch and run the football. Trey Cornis from Central Michigan played all 13 games for them, so that's a pretty good sign.
He did. 470 yards.
Yeah, Jaden Hart for Syracuse got in 10 games, only got the ball 15 times, but that was a pretty dysfunctional offense. So I wouldn't read much by nothing. And the kid from Northwestern had a 79-yard touchdown run against Oregon. That's all I need to know on him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I need to know on that kid. So at least as far as the backfield is concerned, he's bringing in kids with potential. I mean, that's all you can ask for. I mean, he brought in 10 wide receivers.
Oh, I know. I was looking at the group. It's amazing.
And that's not counting that you've got a couple of those guys who are coming back.
Yep, Shamar Porter's coming back. Yep, absolutely.
Right. So that's another totally rebuilt.
Yeah, everything. And he also brought in 9 new offensive linemen, including 4 from Toledo, and then the other 3 were from Power 4 programs.
And plus, you bring the kid from Notre Dame back.
Yeah, Tai Chan. Yep.
Right, and I think there's one other coming back. So your picture, by the way, is frozen on my computer.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No, that's all right. No, it was a good pose at least. You weren't sucking your thumb or doing anything like that. Now you're back to live.
Okay.
So look, again, this is great, and I think people like the way that Coach Candle has operated so far. He seems to have put together a really good staff. But we won't know anything till they take the field for the first time.
No, we won't have a clue until that happens. I wanted to get your thoughts on the 2 situations. The Duke situation with Menza. He transfers at the 11th hour. They both sue each other.
Right.
They come to a settlement, and he has now gone to Miami.
How about that?
Well, it blows my mind because it just scares me. And I talked to Burton about this. I told Burton, I said, after 3 games this year, whoever you're paying, I want you to stop paying them. I want to see what happens if you just stop paying them, because the kids can just commit, sign their agreements, and then leave. No repercussions. And I know they came to some sort of agreement, and I'm sure it was financial. He didn't have a buyout or anything, but the contract, the paper that the contract's written on, the revenue sharing agreement, it doesn't seem to be worth anything. That's what bothers me.
It's not. I'm also not a big fan of letting kids transfer inside the conference. Going from one ACC school to another.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they play next year. It would be interesting if they do. I'll have to look that up. You know what? It could have been really messy if it had gone to court. And that's probably the last thing that either side wanted. Was to go to court and have all their dirty laundry sorted out in public.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's not a surprise that it came to that. I'm just looking at the 26 Duke football schedule, and it does not. Oh, they go to Miami,
Oh,
November
good.
14th. Oh, good. That'll be a bloodletting. So
Yeah, because I had wondered, if they did go to court and Duke did prevail, you get the kid back, but he doesn't want to be there anyway. That's my
what? So
issue.
what good does it do?
What good does it do?
Right.
He doesn't want to be there. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But either you have to make the contracts stricter with more of a buyout, or a deeper buyout like the coaches have, like Brian Kelly had a $50 million buyout. I just don't know how you hold the kids accountable, and that's my biggest issue.
Well,
Is that you can't.
until there's a commissioner of college football
Yeah.
or a czar of college football, not the president of the NCAA, because that's not his job. But until you've got that person running the game, it's going to be the Wild West show, and it's bad for the sport.
So you think there should be, because they tried to enact this, they wanted to have a committee to monitor the transfer portal, to monitor all NIL deals, everything reported, everything in a database. So there was like market value for each player. And
I think you need one person in charge of it, and then
Right.
they can have like in government, they can have a cabinet. They can have one person in charge of the portal. They can have one person in charge of NIL. They can have one person in charge of I don't know what. But you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think you can do that, and it would be a much more effective system than what we have now. Because what we
Yeah.
have now is the Wild West show.
It's just it blows my mind. And then I was going to ask you about the Clemson situation. They get a transfer in from Cal, a linebacker. He gets an apartment, car, going to class, training with the team. While he's in class, he's constantly getting text messages from Ole Miss, from their general manager, from the head coach, from Golding. And he reports this to Clemson, to Dabo Sweeney and compliance. And I know you had said, don't throw rocks at glass houses, but he kept saying all along, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. It's no problem. I'm going to stay. And Clemson even called the general manager at Ole Miss and said, hey, stop calling our guy. Stop doing this. And the GM said, I'm sorry, I know, but Coach Golding does what Coach Golding does.
Oh, that's nice to throw your boss under the bus.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Good luck to you in the future, sir.
I think it was Austin Thomas, his name was. And then again, it was, I believe, on a Friday, he comes in and he says, well, I've decided to transfer to Ole Miss. So you have two transfers in the same time period. He, from Cal, he barely gets to Clemson, and then he's on his way to Ole Miss.
I think that's
and Ole Miss reported it, at least.
I think that's totally wrong. I think that's the most egregious violation. I think if anybody has stones, Ole Miss should face severe penalties, a loss of scholarships, maybe even a year in probation. Because as you said, if a kid's in class already and going to class and he's a member of that school, then they have no right to poach him. Now, in the old days, if a kid wanted to transfer like that, that's fine. He'd have to sit out a year. Now,
exactly, yeah.
But now, with the rules the way that they are, he just takes he turns his car in, turns his keys to his apartment in, and gets a new car and a new apartment in Ole Miss.
Mississippi. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Well, I don't know. It's just the whole thing is.
Well, I mean, I thought Dabo made a good point. I think the NCAA erred in cutting the transfer portal from the month of, it started in December. It was a full 30 days. They cut it to 15 days, like I said, thinking that it would deter kids from going into the portal. And then they erased the summer portal. So, as I said, there were, Julius Williams and I were talking about this. There were 10 to 11,000 kids in the portal and like 3,000 got signed. So there's 8,000 without a home trying to go back to their old school or taking community college classes, hoping something opens up in the portal. And Dabo said they should make one portal. They should make it after spring ball, make it a full month, one free transfer. After that, it's a year.
Well, I
And
think after spring ball is too late.
yeah,
I don't
you
understand
think it
that.
should be before spring ball?
I think it should be from the day after the national championship game. Make it a month,
Make it a
not
month.
15 days.
Yeah.
But once that month is over, it's hands off. You're not allowed to dip your toe in the water. And
Yeah.
then
Exactly.
that would, to me, I'm sure there's reasons that I'm not thinking of why that wouldn't be good, but to me, that would solve the problem. You've got a month from the day after the NCAA championship game until till 30 days later, and you make your moves and see what happens.
Yeah. And I got to check. I don't know exactly when the basketball transfer portal is and if it's the same time period. That's what I would be interested to know if they do 30 days and if they do it right after the season.
I think
Because,
they do. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they do.
And you think they do 30 days as well?
I think I'm looking it up right now, but I
Yeah.
mean that would seem to make more sense.
Because
I
I
mean,
think,
plus in college basketball, you've got the other issue that you don't have as much in um, football is you've got kids to kick clearing for the draft.
correct. Yes.
You know,
Well, those were the other two situations. You saw the kid who came back to Baylor who was actually drafted in 2023
well,
and yeah,
that's a whole nother mess.
and never played the game.
Basketball is the day after
Okay.
um, the each tournament, but it's only for 15 days.
So they cut
Um,
that down too. Jesus. Wow.
seems like it's only for 15 days. The NCAA cabinet uh, last month, January, approved a
They changed
15-day
it.
transfer window that begins, as I said, after the Tuesday after the men's tournament ends, and the Wednesday after the women's or Monday. I don't know where the women's tournament is this year.
Right. Right.
After those 15 days, yeah, the women is Sunday, April 5th. The men is Monday, April 6th. So those impacted will have 15 days following the hire of a head coach to make a
Right.
decision, and then perhaps additional time after that. So that's good. So
But I
that
mean, do you think the 15 days, like the NCAA thought it would keep people from going into the portal? I think it
no,
may
I don't. I don't
have
think it
more
will.
of a
I don't think
yeah.
they think it will. If they do it, they're silly. I don't see where that's going to be.
I think it gave kids more of a sense of urgency that, oh, I got to get in the portal and
Yeah.
get done because I don't have as much time.
Yep.
And if you do it the way the NCAA wants you to do it by starting on January 2nd, you're already behind the eight ball. Most of the
Yeah.
kids already have third parties negotiating for them for visits, for offers, for NIL money, all that stuff. So when January 2nd comes around, they have stuff in place. The kids that don't and just jump in blindly, they're the ones that suffer. So
Well,
that's why.
and it's also. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stevie. Finish up.
No, I just that's why I feel bad. That's what.
Well, and it's also hard on the coaches because you don't know which of your current players are looking to get out of Dodge. Let's say you have four kids who are going to leave, Well, then you got to go get you got to get 4 kids to come in, right? I mean, 4 or 5
Exactly.
kids to come in. So I don't know. I think the whole thing um, I think
It's
the
just
whole thing
crazy.
kind of is kind of legalized insanity.
It
Um,
really is. I mean, you have more turnover in college football now than you do with most NFL teams. That's what I can't get over. That's what blows my mind the most. Um, I wanted to get your thoughts quickly because you and I are both Giants fans. Did we
yes,
did we finally get it right with John Harbaugh?
grand slam,
Grand slam. I
grand
totally agree.
slam, grand
Yeah.
slam, because he's a culture changing coach. He's just not a head coach hire like all these other coaches, like Salah in Tennessee or McCarthy in Pittsburgh. Or
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
he's a guy who's going to change everything. I mean, he's already started to change some things. Um, they had
Yeah.
already started to make some improvements on the facilities and stuff. So yeah, I think I mean, I hope they get Davis Webb as their offensive coordinator. Um, I like the other choices that he's made. I think guys are going to be held accountable now. There's talent there.
There
Yeah,
is coming back. Yeah.
the thing to remember is he hasn't won a Super Bowl in 15 years.
No.
So, and he never got to a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. Now, is that as much on Lamar Jackson as him?
Well,
Probably.
they had allegedly a toxic relationship.
Especially at the end, because I don't think Jackson, from what I read, and that's all I'm going on, had much use for Todd Monken,
Yes, the offensive coordinator. Yeah.
who is now the head coach in
Yeah.
Cleveland. So good luck with Shedeur Sanders. You have a good. Let us know how that turns out.
Can,
Um,
can you think of more of a dysfunctional organization than the Cleveland Browns?
no, not really.
I
Not
mean,
really. I mean that they've been, mistake by the lake doesn't just refer to the city; it refers to the football team.
they could have drafted a quarterback in the first round. They wait until the third round and draft Gabriel. The fifth round, they take Sanders. Neither one of them really proved anything, and
How
they
about
missed.
Shedeur Sanders going to the Pro Bowl? Is
That
that
made
pure?
me want to
Is that
vomit.
pure? Well, is that pure proof that the Pro Bowl in its current form should just be nuked
Yeah,
and set in the Never Land?
Sean Mulcahy and I went through the quarterback ratings. Shador Sanders was ranked like 25th.
Right.
So it's like that many people had to say no. And I think he's got to be the first Pro Bowler in history to have more interceptions than touchdown passes.
I would say you're. I would say
Like,
without even having to look it up, I would say you're right.
because we looked at it and it was like Aaron Rodgers, like he wasn't going to go. Drake May couldn't go. Like all these people couldn't go. It's like this is how far they had to go down the list to get a
I guess.
quarterback to play in a flag football game.
I guess.
That's just wow. So we also have the big game this week, the Super Bowl.
Well,
The
before we go to
Yeah.
that, brother, let's look back at the East-West game, which was
Oh,
played
okay.
last
Yes,
week
it
in
was
Frisco, Texas.
last
Of
Tuesday.
of all the things I read about the game, how did Skylar Bell not catch a pass?
Um, um, Skylar Bell was, as far as I know, he was very well taken care of at UConn with Gordy and his game planning. He did a good job moving him around, giving him good matchups. In the East-West Shrine game, he's playing against much better talent. The game plan wasn't centered around him. They had just basic stuff. And he's expected to win his one-on-one matchups. And it showed that he is unable to do that. He's limited in capacity. It just showed that we accentuated his positives, we hid his negatives. But
That's a good
that to
way to put
me,
it.
Yeah, I mean, because I watched, I watched most of our games a few times, and we did some things like we would put him in the backfield and have him run a route from there, and he would be covered by a linebacker and beat a linebacker and score a touchdown. We'd put him in the slot. We'd put him in the slot and then put him in motion. We'd put him wide. So you never knew where he was going to line up. And I think that made matchup problems. And, the game, Gordy said, he had a whole sheet of plays just for Skylar Bell.
Right.
And I think, and we saw, if you called this, the wide receiver screens that we threw to him. And he would catch the ball and he would be good in space. But the Shrine game is different in the sense where everyone plays and he is going to get limited reps to begin with.
Right.
And he has to stand out. I mean, they're not game planning. Let's feature Skylar Bell. Let's move him around. Let's make sure he gets some catches. No, they want everyone to do well. So they have a generic game plan. You run your routes. You got to be open. You have to win your one-on-one matchup, whether it's zone coverage, man coverage. You have to find a way to get open. And the number of plays that he got, I don't know for sure, but he did not stand out. He did not get open. And that's going to really hurt him, because
looking at the play-by-play, it didn't even look like he got targeted.
No,
he never even got targeted in the game.
According to the stats, no, it doesn't show that he was even thrown the ball once. From what
now, the quarterback played all the fourth quarter because they had 4 quarterbacks.
Correct.
On the team. He led him on the touchdown drive that won the game, but he only threw a couple of passes on that drive. He had a couple of scrambles to make yardage and stuff. Before that, he had gotten sacked in the end zone, fumbled, and the East recovered for the go-ahead touchdown with 8.5 minutes to go. I still don't think he's getting drafted. I think Bell is dropped to a Saturday pick now.
Yeah, I thought he was a day 1 pick. He's not anymore.
Well, I never thought he was day 1 because that's only the first round. I thought he could go
day 1, day 2.
I thought he could go day 2, but no, he's not. I don't think he's even a D2 pick. I think this was a big eye-opening experience.
It really was. It really was.
And what are you going to do? I mean, that's just the way. That's just the way it goes.
I think it shows UConn, because we don't play top-level competition. I know we beat Duke. I know we did. We played well against Syracuse.
Yeah, but that's not top-level competition.
No, we're playing Florida Atlantic. We're playing Florida International. We're playing UAB. And, Skylar in Buffalo. And Skylar Bell was phenomenal in those games. But you're seeing him against the second and third tier competition. So that is why I think that he really suffered, and playing in this game hurt him. Yeah. And like you said, I had him as, a second-round pick at best. I didn't think he was going to fall. Now, maybe a fourth, fifth-round pick, depending on how his pro day goes. But it really, I'm going to have to take a look at the film again and watch him closely and see what the deal was, how many plays he got and everything. But it's sad that it hurt him, because he was our first All-American at the FBS level. He, broke records. He had over 100 catches, 13 touchdowns, just a phenomenal year. And then this happens, and it's going to be tough to come back from this. He's going to have to train hard. He's going to have to, I'm not sure if he's going to the combine or not. I'm pretty sure he is.
Oh, I'm sure I would think he would.
Yeah. he's going to have to do well in the combine to make up for it, and he's going to have a hell of a pro day to make up for it. But I do see him probably as a 4th or 5th round pick. Is that where you see?
Well, as of now, I mean, unless he does something
Yeah.
that that moves the needle in a stupid way. So I would say, yeah, I would say he's a day 3 pick.
Yeah.
There had been some people who were stupid enough to think he was going in round 1.
Well,
I've never.
I was
Well, not you. Nah, not you. But I was never.
I thought round 1, round 2. I did,
Well,
but
I
I
never.
was way off.
I never thought round 1. I never thought um round 1. I mean, he's probably
No.
not even a top 100 prospect now.
Well, when I went to the Air Force game and I saw him in person, he's listed at 6 feet tall. He is probably 5'9", 5'10". He looked so small. And that's what stood out to me the most. I was shocked at his size because I thought he was bigger. So I'm interested to see if the East Shrine, because I know the Hula Bowl measured height and weight. I want to see if I'm going to check to see if the East Shrine game did, to see what he came out at. The biggest thing is going to be what he runs. So
Right.
his 40 time is going to be very important. I think right now he's probably more of a 4.6 guy or a high 4.5. He is going to have to get that down, to go in the 3rd round, to go any higher than that. He's going to have to run a low 4.5 or a high 4.4, I think, for him to move up. And he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do to climb out of this. And, Joe, I think, unfortunately, he's probably an undrafted free agent. He could. It's a bad quarterback class to begin with, so I could see him going either in the 7th round or he's going to be a free agent. I don't think he's going to go any higher. I don't believe he's going to the combine. It's going to depend on what he does in this pro day, but I still don't think, with his attributes, with his speed, from his evaluations from people I've talked with, his footwork, he's got a really long release. He's got a strong arm, but one of the big issues is accuracy. And throwing on the run are things that he struggles with, and he'll hold the ball too long. He'll take sacks. Because he's looking. He's got decent pocket presence, but sometimes he holds the ball too long because he's trying to get the ball downfield to make a play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But again,
I see one thing. I don't mean to interrupt you, but just this train of thought on the ESPN side. I think this is Mel. I think this is Kuiper. He's got him listed as the 12th quarterback prospect. And he projects him to be late day 3 or undrafted free agent.
That's about right.
It says where he needs work. Fignano played in an offense predicated on quick completions. 28.8% of his attempts this season were at or behind the line of scrimmage. He has limited arm strength and won't wow scouts with his passing velocity. His game is more dependent on taking the safe throw than testing defenses in tighter windows.
Oh, I mean, see, I thought he only threw fastballs. That was my thing. He always threw, from my perspective, it always looked like he threw the ball hard and he never had any touch on it. And he would just there'd be a 5-yard route and he'd fire a bullet at someone and it'd bounce off their hands. But I think he's spot on with where he's going to land. But again, all of this comes back and angers me as to the guys not playing in the bowl game. They sacrificed.
Well, yeah, I know.
Playing in the East-West Shrine game. Skylar Bell had no catches. So he doesn't play in the Fenway Bowl, and he does nothing in the Shrine Game. Joe plays in the Shrine Game, doesn't do anything to help himself.
Well, see, what disappoints me more about that, the more I think about it, is that, and I'm sure you've heard this story. Bill got money to come back and play in the bowl game.
He
Played
did,
the
yeah.
played the first series, and then said, "That's it, I'm done."
Said I'm done. Called it a day.
I mean,
No, I know.
that's not good. That's not a good reputation to have.
I know, and I know people were upset with that, and I know, Mike Burton does everything for this program, and he just wanted the bowl game to go well. He didn't want us to embarrass ourselves, and he was doing everything he could to get the players to play, to want to play hard, and it's so challenging when you have to incentivize it with money to get him to play, and then he still pulls something like that on you.
Yeah.
And that's and I agree with you. That's worse, in my opinion, and in what you said, than Joe not playing at all. Skyler just should have not played instead
money and ran.
Instead of having the big press conference announcing he's playing, and then calling it a day after the failed trick play in the first series. That's just amazing to me.
Well, the whole thing is just distasteful. Now I see this other site, NFLDraftBuzz.com, has him ranked as the 14th best wide receiver.
Wow. Wow, that's not good.
Well, no,
I can't remember if it's I don't know if it's.
It says he runs a 4.4, brings legitimate
good.
speed to the table. So that's good. If he's clocked at 4.4, then he's going to get drafted high.
Yes.
Then he has the possibility of a top 3, first, second, or third round, probably third round draft.
I agree.
If he's been timed 4.4, you can't teach speed.
No.
So, and as we always say, Steve, with the draft, all it takes is one person to like you. All you need is one person to fall in love with you, and you're good. And you're good. So we'll see.
Exactly. The other guy that I liked was our center, Wes Ho. I hope he gets a shot as an undrafted free agent. Defensively, I think Parham and Taekwon King, I hope they get a shot as undrafted free agents. But UConn football right now has an entirely new team, an entirely new coaching staff. It's a huge, they don't want to call it a rebuild. It's retooling. I hope they have enough time between winter workouts and spring practice to build that cohesiveness and togetherness. And, I don't want them to be hired guns, mercenaries coming in. I want them to come together and, play as a team and have success, because we have a tough schedule next year.
It's tougher than this. It's tougher than this year's tissue paper
much tougher.
Schedule.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Yes.
I mean,
we're going to Wyoming.
Well, just from a travel standpoint, that makes it a lot tougher. But yeah,
I think we open at Lafayette, but I mean,
with Lafayette will be in Lafayette, Maryland, Syracuse, UMass, North Carolina, JMU, and Old Dominion are at Rentschler. And then at Miami of Ohio, at Temple, at Air Force, and at Wyoming. Is that right? They only play 11 games next year?
No.
No, they must have added somebody else.
I thought they had BC, but I'm not sure.
No, I don't think they do.
Maybe
they've got. Okay. No, this says 11 games on the.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do have 11 games.
3, 6, 9.
I know 12, Duke 11. Pulled out, and that's why they added North Carolina. So
Well, no, I think North Carolina was signed before. I think Duke.
they were okay.
I don't think Duke pulling out. uh,
Okay.
I think that's why they've only got 11 games listed.
Well,
You know.
hopefully they're able to find someone to add somebody else to get their 12th game in.
Well, you'd like that. You want to see 12. You want if you can get. It probably would have to be a road game. I can't see
Yes.
him playing 8 home games and 4 road
No.
games. I think it'd be
No.
more likely 7 and 5. But
Oh, so they have 7 homes scheduled already. Oh, okay.
yeah,
So they have to get another road game. I'm sure they'll find someone. I hope St. Benedict will do that for us. So thoughts on the Super Bowl? We got
well,
Seattle.
I'll give my pick on our show with Conlon on Wednesday.
Yes.
Um, I think it's a potentially. I think it's a
You.
potentially close game.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a potentially close game. I don't I don't foresee um, unless there's an injury to a quarterback, one team blowing out the other team. Um, I think the Patriots are kind of riding this magic carpet ride. I think
Oh, they are.
I think Seattle's the much sounder team.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
everybody wants to rave about this Patriots defensive performance in the AFC Championship game. Well,
There was bad weather.
the weather was awful,
You
which
couldn't
makes
put anyone out.
Sean Payton's decision to go for it on 4th and 1 in the second quarter even more mind-boggling.
So dumb. And then he fires his offensive coordinator.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You know, he's one of those. He and McVay are two guys who think they're the smartest guy in the room
The
all the time,
egos, yes, yes, the
which are
egos.
why I'm not fans. But you have to like what Vrabel's done
I
in
think Vrabel's
Foxborough.
coach of the year. I think he's going
Oh,
to be coach.
I think if he doesn't get it, then they shouldn't. Then they shouldn't
Yeah.
award it.
Yeah.
I think it's him hands down.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, May. I would say one thing. I don't think you have to worry about May being the moment being too big for him. If they lose, it's not because he's going to be scared. I think Darnold's gotten done with that image. You know, I mean, he was the guy
I'm so happy for Darnold.
who said he saw
Ghosts.
ghosts
Ghosts.
the last time
He played New
before.
England.
No, this say it. No, this site. This UConn blog says there's 12 games scheduled, but they only list 11.
Yeah,
Which
I
doesn't
thought
make any sense.
there were
But there's-
12 games.
Yeah, but
I'll-
there's only 11 listed. So
I'm going to check Store Central and see if they have anything. But I am so happy for Sam Darnold because he had to go through what he went through with the Jets. He was, I believe he was the first pick of the draft that year.
no, I think he was second or third.
Oh, he was second or third. Okay.
All right.
And he goes to the Jets and they give up on him. He gets traded to Carolina for a couple of picks. He starts there. It's funny that Carolina had both Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold on the same roster. Carolina, you know, they don't have much. They give up on him. He ends up at San Francisco as a backup. He goes to Minnesota to back up J.J. McCarthy. And J.J. McCarthy gets hurt in the spring and he's out for the year. And lo and behold, Sam Darnold is your starting quarterback.
Yep.
And he absolutely tore it up. He had an incredible year. They go 14-3. He plays poorly in their last game and the playoff game. And it's one of the reasons why the general managers, the general manager at Minnesota got fired. You know, they decide they don't want to pay him, even though he didn't get a ton of money from Seattle. They let him go. Seattle picks him up. He puts up good numbers as far as yardage goes. He doesn't throw a ton of touchdowns. He threw a lot of interceptions. I think it was 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. But he had a good year for them, and he leads them. He wins his first playoff game, wins his second playoff game, and he's going to the Super Bowl. I love the story because he went to the worst situation possible with the Jets, and they gave up on him, and they didn't put enough around him, and they sent him to a worse situation in Carolina. He goes there, he starts a few games, and then gets benched, sits at San Francisco, and then tears it up at Minnesota. He becomes one of the top free agents. Minnesota looks horrible for not signing him. They want to go with McCarthy, and he leads Seattle to a Super Bowl. I just think it's a great story for him.
Yes, totally agree with everything you said. He said that the year he spent in San Francisco backing up Purdy was maybe the most important year of his career because he learned so much from Shanahan and from Purdy, even though Purdy was younger than he was. Yeah, you like good retribution stories, and you like stories that paint the Jets as being total horses' asses, because that's what they are. Well, I mean, you talk about Cleveland being dysfunctional. I think the Jets may be worse.
They are. I mean, Aaron Glenn being hired, he wins a few games at the end of the year. They're with Justin Fields at quarterback, and then they go with Tyrod Taylor. It was just a mess. Like they can't draft a quarterback. They can't develop a quarterback. It just blows my mind. Offensively, they're just so anemic. And like you said, from the front office down, it just looks like Cleveland, a complete dysfunctional organization. And
I think so.
Jets.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, I mean, they've got only one Super Bowl. They've only got one Super Bowl title.
Correct.
And that was only because of Joe Willie Namath.
Right, exactly. And their last playoff appearance was
15 years ago.
Yeah, I know they won 10 games when Todd Bowles was the head coach, but they run through coaches. They made some bad coaching hires. I remember when they hired Adam Gase. He was absolutely atrocious. I thought Robert Saleh was going to be good. And I think he lasted 3 years, and it's good to see him back. He's with Tennessee now. I thought he was.
He hired Brian Daboll as his
OC,
his OC, right? So
that's where he belongs.
Maybe. Oh yes, absolutely. He's not a head coach. Maybe Daboll will get it to work with Cam Ward, where Brian Callahan couldn't. Callahan's one of the names that they're dropping for Jets offensive or for Giants offensive coordinator. No, I don't think so.
No. If we can get if we can get Davis Webb, I think that is the guy.
Or Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury would be good.
Yes. Yes. He's at Washington, I believe.
Well, he got fired.
Oh, he did get fired. I did not know that.
Yeah, Dan Quinn dumped both coordinators.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I would be happy with Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. And all the hirings are done. What is there anything? Stefanski gets hired again. Are there anything from the hirings that stand out to you?
Other than Harbaugh, no. McCarthy seems to be a polarizing figure in Pittsburgh.
That blew my mind.
They don't know people. I don't think people in Pittsburgh, which may be as good an NFL city as there is, along with Green Bay. I don't think they know what to make of this. We don't know if that means Rodgers is coming back, is not coming back. We don't know if McCarthy wants him or not. It's weird. I mean, never before have we had 10
availabilities
like that.
Yeah.
I think Mike LaFleur in Arizona
That blew
is
my
not
mind.
great. Joe Brady with the Bills. I mean, I know Allen likes him, but that's not
Then why do you
that.
fire McDermott? That was my thing.
The old BC coach Jeff Halfley with the Dolphins. No NFL head coaching experience. I like the Salah hire with
I do too.
Tennessee. I like the Monken hire with Cleveland. Um, I think Clint Kubiak is the best quarterback, best young offensive mind in the game. Uh, McCarthy Minter's a home run for
Yep.
Baltimore. Stefanski's a home run. Harbaugh's a home run. Um, I think the one that stands out to me is uh, of the top four is McCarthy,
Yeah.
and
Same
he's
with
been
me.
out of it for a year or two, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, um,
I don't know why he was so attractive, and so because Pittsburgh typically hires a young coach.
right, and he
They've
stays there
always gone young.
forever.
Yeah,
They've had three coaches in 40 something
in their
years.
entire franchise history. Yeah.
Between Noel, well, not their history, but they've got Noel and Cower and Coach Tomlin.
Yeah.
McCarthy's not going to be there for 15 years.
No. No. And I think Tomlin and McDermott will take the year off, and then they'll get hired again. Because I
I've
think
read some things about McDermott. He may not be as an
really,
attractive a candidate. He was kind of tough.
huh?
He was kind of gruff and rough around the edges.
With his
Uh,
staff or players?
with
Is that what?
players and
Yeah.
yeah. So that may be more than a 1 year reclamation project.
Were you just last question? Were you surprised that the Vikings fired their general manager?
It seems
It
like
was
there was
late.
stuff behind the scenes as far as him
Yeah.
taking paternity leave and stuff. So
Yes. Yes. It
you
was.
know,
Yes. The paternity leave.
I mean, who knows how these teams operate? I
I
mean,
did see that the 2 weeks of
you know,
paternity leave.
the Vikings are another team that's not that hasn't exactly been covered in glory. They
No,
went to four Super Bowls and lost them all,
the
and
70s. Correct.
right, and they haven't been back. They haven't been back, I don't think,
No.
since.
No. Last year was their best chance. They were 14-3. They had a bye,
Right,
and Darnold played horrible, and they
was
lost.
awful in that.
And
Awful in
that's
that.
what. Yeah, exactly. And
And that got his way out of Dodge.
that's
Although
what
I'm
got
not
him out.
sure. I'm not sure JJ McCarthy is the.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think if there's a quarterback that they like in the first round that they would take another quarterback? Because they only have
No,
a small sample size.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
McCarthy's thing is he gets hurt too often, but
I think
I
they'll bring
don't.
in a veteran.
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna bring him back and give him another
Yeah,
shot. I
yeah.
don't think it makes much sense to to
Draft
throw
another.
throw bad money after bad money. So
Yeah, yeah. And then they'll just bring in a veteran to compete with them.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
All
Joe.
right, all right,
Well,
Stevie.
great for the analysis on our Huskies. And we will go over our Super Bowl picks with Maria and Dave on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And for Joe D, the legendary icon voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, life gives you lemons. Don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges. Throw them right back.